I don't know, school was never for me, and um, when I had the opportunity with the full ride scholarship through the Boys and Girls Club and Avenue Scholars and just having all these different resources helping me uh, make sure I'm on top of my game, I feel like I had a huge responsibility of going to school to pave that way for my family, my younger siblings, and setting a better example.
Hello and welcome to our second episode of Trust the Process. This is a podcast here with the scholarship team at Boys and Girls Club. My name is Lupe Marquez Eberly, and I am here with Miguel and David. So I want to just have you guys introduce yourselves a little bit. Tell me about how you guys got involved with the scholarship team with Boys and Girls Club, and then we'll go from there.
My name is David Rojas. I've been a member at the Boys and Girls Club since my freshman year of high school. I honestly can't remember how I found out, but I think my brother brought me along. And it's kind of been like a thing where I found like the place I could call home, After school every single day, we would be here from opening until it closed. Like back then, it used to close around 10 p.m. And on Fridays, I think to midnight. So like after every single school day, we just come to the Boys and Girls Club and just pretty much just hang out until close and just go home after that. It's kind of made it like our routine, just pretty much, I guess, lived here, But we kind of found like a lot of benefits to it. We had the first hour we'd come, we'd do homework, it's called Power Hour. So we got our homework done right away and kind of just hung out with friends, socialized, spent a lot of time in the gym, playing basketball, soccer, all that. And yeah, I found the club very beneficial. I'm really glad I found out about the Boys and Girls Club. But then I think around COVID, we stopped coming and we just stopped coming. And then we heard about the scholarship. Well, I heard about it from my older brother and told me to reach out. And I did. And thankfully I got accepted and all that. And that's how I got involved into the scholarship.
Dang, so you gotta give your brother some credit.
For sure, yeah.
Cool. So tell me a little bit about you, Miguel.
My name is Miguel Rojas Hammond, and I'm 23 years old. And I found the Boys and Girls Club through some friends my senior year in high school. I always knew about it when I was a kid, but I just never really was interested in coming as a kid. But like I said, when my senior year in high school, I found out about it, and the friends I had encouraged me to come. So I came, gave it a shot, and it was more than what I expected. I thought it was gonna be like a little daycare, but it wasn't. It was more like a home, like David said. My brother ended up coming. We came together with some friends, and the more we came, the more of a home it became for us. Like he said, we came here from right after school. We literally walked from South High to here, which isn't that far at all. And we came here till you guys closed. We were probably the last teams leaving because we didn't want to leave it. We had so much fun here. And we built good relationships here with the staff. At first they were strangers, but they ended up being like mentors to us, like family or like brothers, I guess you could say. We built really good relationships to where we could trust them and feel comfortable talking to them with anything. And through those relationships we built, I found out about the scholarship and I guess, applied for it. And it was something that I was kind of intimidated about due to like my, grades I had in school. I wasn't really good at school, so I didn't think I really qualified for it. But I remember Jermaine kept pushing me to apply for it, and, I eventually got it. And yeah, that's how, we got the scholarship. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for telling us. I think it's interesting that, you guys are both brothers. And we've seen a couple of like siblings come through the club. So I think it was really cool that you guys can both come in and share your story because a lot of our members can relate to that.
Yeah.
You guys have different paths that you guys are doing. You're in the trade. You're doing the 4-year college route.
Yeah.
So you guys have your own unique story to share. And with that, the students that we're working with college and career programming at the different clubs, we asked them to submit questions for you all. So we took a look at them. We selected some of the best ones, but we're randomly picking.
Okay.
Y'all got a peek at them. So we'll just go with the first one, and then feel free to, whoever wants to answer it first.
Okay.
So we got, what was the process for applying to college? And then in your situation, what was the process to get you into the trade that you're at?
I'll start off with this one. Honestly, senior year, like after COVID, my first semester I didn't go to school. I was still online, remote learning. Then I came back my spring semester, and I honestly didn't know too much about the process. But thankfully, I had counselors and the scholarship team that helped me a lot. I applied for FAFSA with the help of the scholarship team. Found out about a lot of scholarships I could apply for. I applied for as many scholarships as I could, and I think that's one thing I always tell like seniors, like no matter how much the amount is, if it's $100, $500, $1,000, full rides, just apply. Like the worst that can happen is just say no. But that's pretty much what I did, and I applied for like every scholarship I could find, and in the long run, it benefited me, and now I'm like on a full ride at UNO, but applying, I think I think it was a little different for me. I had to like make sure I wanted to go to a soccer school.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's one of the biggest factors. And UNO is a big university in Omaha. So I think I wanted to go to a bigger school.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I went on visits, and I think I found a home, and that's where I'm at now.
Yeah. So you also got the Buffett scholarship.
Yeah, thankfully, yeah.
Yeah. So how was that experience? You have us, and then you have the Buffett.
I feel blessed. When I applied, I wasn't too confident. I was just kind of hoping for the best. Because I didn't expect it. Because if I would expect it, I'd have been disappointed if I didn't. So I didn't want to get my expectations too high, but I just applied. Then kept applying for other ones, and then just kind of waited for for them to like tell me.
Yeah.
And I was anxious because that's a large amount. A full ride is a lot, especially for college. College isn't cheap at all. But leading up to the announcement, I was really anxious, and then they started sending them out. A lot of kids in our school had different reactions.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't want to tell anybody I had it because a lot of kids were really upset, and it showed, and I didn't want to make them feel even worse, so I kind of kept it to myself for a while, but eventually I shared it with my family, and it was I felt blessed for sure, because college isn't cheap at all, and I really didn't plan to go to college if I didn't get a scholarship, but thankfully I got Buffett. I have you guys, and now I'm here.
Yeah. Good. How about you, Miguel? What was your process to getting into where you're at now?
Yeah, kind of like David, my process was a little different as well. I had the help with you guys, helped me apply for college, and also a little bit of legacy as well. I got introduced to what lineman was through legacy, and they just kind of gave me information on what they do for a living, and it was something that grasped my attention. And I really didn't have many options for what college I could go to, because to get a line degree, it was either offered at Metro or Northeast, and Northeast is a couple hours away, I believe. And Metro, it was an Irvington campus that offered the lineman classes. So I had the help with you guys, and Legacy helped me apply for college. I really didn't do none of the paperwork, really. I just kind of gave them my information, and they just kind of did all the stuff for me.
For the Legacy program?
Yeah, which is pretty nice, but that's kind of the process for me. Yeah. I didn't really know how to apply, I guess.
So when we were telling our members about the idea of what a lineman does, they were thinking football. A lot of them were like, oh, he's a player. So can you tell us a little bit about what that position may look like? Educate us a little bit on that.
Yeah. Well, currently I'm in the strike department, but I did a little bit of line work before I ended up here. What linemen do is they do maintenance and help restore power whenever electricity's out. For example, last year we had a really bad storm, so I was still in the streetlight department, but what the lineman did was, I guess, I don't know, their transformers on a pole. There's a big circle cans, I guess you can see on a pole.
Like big street light?
Not street light, but like in the back of a wooden pole, it's like a circular can. We call them transformers, overhead transformers.
Okay.
But they like replace those, or sometimes, the wooden arm breaks. They'll repair like a wooden arm if it breaks. String wire, replace underground faults, repair underground faults. Just anything electrical related that cause you guys to lose power, anybody to lose power, they restore it. They climb quite a bit, wooden poles, long hours, just anything you could think of for electricity they do. Besides like electrician work inside of a house, they do everything outside.
Gotcha.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially during storms.
Yeah. But with being in the streetlight department, what we do is we just basically do maintenance in the streetlights in Omaha. Mm-hmm. So you'll see cars hit poles in Omaha or on the highway. We go pick them up and put them back up, or we'll just basically fix streetlights or repair connections. That storm, we were out climbing, putting house services up, helping the linemen out because they had a lot of other big priorities to do. So we're over here doing like the stuff that we could have done on our end to help them out, take some, I guess, work off their load. Yeah. So, yeah. Like I said, the legacy program introduced me to what the lineman was, and that's what I made my mind up about going to school for. And I remember Metro offered either having the 2-year program, which was taking classes on the weekends for 2 years to get the degree, or you could take the 9-month program, which was accelerated, and you could take classes throughout the week. You're taking gen eds and your actual line classes. Mm-hmm. And I remember Metro, they weren't really too interested in allowing me to take the accelerated course because you had to get special approval because you're taking a lot more credits. I think I was taking like 20 credits a quarter, not a semester, it was a quarter. I was taking line classes in the morning from 8 to 12, and then I was taking gen eds every day of the week from I believe around like 1 to 4 and then 6 to 10.
Wow,
it was a real busy schedule. So they weren't really believing in me because of my GPA in high school. And I remember I was pushing them like, can you please push for the approval. At least give me one shot for 1 quarter and, allow me to prove myself to you that I could do this. Because it was something that I really wanted to knock out, Yeah. I wanted to try to get the upper hand in life as soon as I could. And it was real hard just going from, I was real lazy in high school. I didn't study, I'll be honest. I didn't really give my full effort in high school because I had no really true intention of going to college. I remember I was having doubts of even finishing high school. I was wanting to drop out. And I remember Jermaine asked me if I was going to go to college, and I remember telling him no, because why would I pay for school if I don't like going to school already at high school,
Right.
I was not going to go to college and waste my money on something I wasn't interested in. And then I remember he was telling me if I had the opportunity, like a full ride, would I go? And I was like, yeah, maybe, I don't know. And I thought about it, and I remember, I said, I'll go to college if I had a full ride scholarship, because I didn't want to spend any of my personal money on school.
Right. It gets expensive too.
And not only that, like I said, I didn't want to, school isn't for me.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to waste money on something I wasn't really interested in. And then, got a full ride scholarship, and I don't know, that's how it was. Just, was really busy and proved myself to the Metro that I could do these accelerated classes. I guess it brought out a whole different side of me that I didn't know I had in me. If I was really focused in school or something that I was really interested in, I was willing to do anything I had to do in order to accomplish the goal.
What do you think shifted? Was it the idea of having the scholarship, or was it that and something else?
I'll say, definitely. It was the idea of having a scholarship, definitely, because I was the first high school graduate in my family. First one to even attend college. My father's an immigrant, and it was a huge opportunity for the family, And I knew that this could potentially create generational growth for our future. because, you know, we didn't grow up the worst, but, you know, it was kind of rough growing up for us. And I always knew I wanted something better, but I didn't know what it was. You know, I was still kind of lost in high school. Couldn't make my mind on what I wanted to do. And because I thought the money was only in being a doctor, being a lawyer.
The big careers that we always hear about.
Yeah, to hear about. So, you know, I knew what trades were, but I didn't know how much money they really made. I thought, because from my understanding, trades only made like $20 an hour, $15 an hour, like. But kind of find out they make pretty decent money if you go to the right ones. Yeah. So that was a huge push for me too as well. You know, just having a better life for my future, having the Boys and Girls Club support for the financial side of school. And also if I needed help with anything, I could come here. Because I know through college, I came here as well for help on some papers, some tutoring, just like literally anything I needed help with. Those are big motivators for me.
Yeah, like we're still here, right? Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I can relate to being the oldest one and paving the way. So for you, David, being the younger sibling, how was that? Like, do you feel that Miguel did pave the way for you? How was it like not being the oldest?
I think in a way, yes. I think me and Miguel are two opposite people. And like for me, like it's not a bad thing, but he didn't really do well in high school. Like he didn't really take school serious, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. But me, I felt like I always took school serious, like ever since elementary. Like I don't know what it was. It's just something that came natural. Like school has just been one of my top priorities, doing well, exceeding and all that. And it paid off, you know, the scholarships came, the results came just because of my work ethic, you know? And obviously Miguel, seeing him go to college helped a lot. It did like set an example. He paved the way, you know? Because, you know, college is scary. And, you know, in our family, our parents didn't go to college, you know? Like he said, my dad is an immigrant. We're first generation college students. So I think, like, if he could do it, I know I could do it, you know? Respectfully. But it helped a lot. It was comforting because, like I said, college is scary. But definitely paved the way for our family, and it was a good example. So I thank him for that, you know?
Yeah. All right, next question. How long did it take for you to find the right college and then for me the right career path or right trade?
Honestly, it's rough. Like, I thought I found a lot goes into your decision finding the right college. You know, like I said, soccer was a big part of where I wanted to go. I went to UNO because of their program and their business program as well. But now I'm a second-year student searching for another college because the soccer didn't work out. So I think when you know what you want to have, like, you know what you would look for in a college, you kind of have an idea where you want to go. And a lot of my coaches kind of told me that you want to be somewhere, like say if soccer didn't work out, you want to be somewhere like you would still want to be for the academics. I don't want to go to like a program just for soccer because then say I get injured and I'm stuck at the school now, you know. But I think when I first chose UNO, I think it was a pretty easy decision. But now as a second-year student, it's difficult now. Finding another college, finding the right fit for me now. So I think the first decision was really easy, but now the second decision I think it's major. So I think I'm taking my time with it and just making sure I make the right decision because soccer is something I want to do in the long term. That's my career goal, but I also need to have a backup plan. So,
Which is smart because that's what we tell our members too.
Yeah, for
sure. A lot of them want to do sports, but we always tell them to like have a backup plan for that same reason.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
So the question is, how did you find out about that trade? And why did it appeal to you?
Oh yeah. So, like I mentioned before, Legacy introduced me to what lineman was, and college-wise, I didn't really have too many options. You know, I couldn't go to UNO or Bellevue because they didn't offer those classes there. So like I said, it was either Metro or Northeast, and I know I didn't want to be away from home for 9 months or, 2 years a day if I had to take a 2-year program. So my only option really was Metro because I had my mind made up on being a lineman because of the stuff that they did. And I don't know, it was just really interesting to me. And so the Metro campus was Irvington where they offered the classes. So I went to Irvington, was it 4 days out of the week? We had line classes 4 days of the week.
Yeah.
And I had the gen eds 5 days of the week. And just, that's how college was for me. Yeah.
So real talk though.
Yeah.
How about the money?
Money. I remember when in Legacy, it was huge. At first, I remember they said, yeah, I might make like 6 figures a year.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like, I was like, oh yeah, that's a lot of money. So that was a huge push for me too as well, like 6 figures. That was the only thing at the back of my mind, like what could I do to get here, And I was fortunate enough to where after high school, I got an internship with OPBD.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks after high school graduation, I actually started working at OPBD as an intern. And, at first it was the money, I seen that, money was a huge thing for me at first. And then throughout my internship, I seen that the linemen, they go on vacations whenever they want, because they got the money for it, or they own boats, they own newer trucks, newer cars, nice houses. And that was before I started college. And I knew that this is something I wanted to have in my life when I get older. Mm-hmm. So that internship as well kind of like was an eye opener for me. Like, dang, like if I could end up here, this is kind of lifestyle I could live if I wanted. But like I said, I'm in the shred department right now, and we make a couple dollars less in alignment, and it's pretty good money. I highly encourage any kid that is willing to work in a trade to look into going to Metro as a lineman. Because getting the line degree, you're not only open to only being a lineman. With my degree, I'm allowed to go work at the lineman if I want. I could work as an underground splicer, which is they only do underground feeds and they work downtown doing lead splices. I could go work at a substation. I could go work in the shred department. Like it's more open than just being a lineman. There's a lot of open doors for me if I wanted to do anything else besides line work.
There's a lot of diversity.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool with that degree.
What about business? Because you said soccer was a big one, but why a business major?
I think business always seemed really interesting to me. Math is like probably one of the things I've excelled in a lot throughout like high school, and I know it's one of the biggest things you need in business. Mm-hmm. I'm not too sure what my focus is going to be, but like Miguel said, money's, motivation,
Yeah.
So I rather have the company than be working for the company. I want to be the one paying my workers. I don't want to be the one working, Mm-hmm. But so I'm just trying to find little things, in my everyday life, trying to see what that's like innovative, mm-hmm. and go from there. And I think like me and Miguel both, we run a small scale shoe business, and
that's cool.
So like we resell shoes, so it's been something I enjoy doing a lot. Like I'm not too sure if it's something in the long run for the business, or but I know for sure I want to get into business. It's always been in the back of my mind throughout high school and still is. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. I did not know that. That's cool. Cool. I'll ask for your guys' handle after we put it in. Yeah. All right. One of the members wants to know, what was your funniest or maybe the most fun experience at your job? Maybe for you, maybe your, like, whether it's at soccer or whether it's in college.
So during high school, my senior year, I joined a semi-pro indoor team. Mm-hmm. And like a month later, they got promoted to the professional league. It's the second division of the soccer indoor pyramid, I guess. And I think it was a really great experience. I was a 17-year-old, high school, doing school and traveling and playing soccer. It was like nothing better I can ask for. Living the dream, in my opinion. I wasn't getting paid because I was an amateur player.
Mhm.
My teammates were all getting paid, but I didn't mind that at all. I was in it for the experience. Like, we're getting everything, paid for, like our travel, hotels. We're playing in these nice arenas that like other celebrities performed in, and like I'm walking backstage. I'm just like, dang, like these huge artists, just like, I'm walking in the same building they were, sharing the same locker room and all that. And I think that was really, really interesting. So I think traveling, that experience, and playing against other like great soccer players were probably the most memorable experience.
That sounds legit.
Yeah.
For me, I'll say being in the trade, you come across a lot of different walks of life.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't say there's any particular day that's like, the funniest, but like every day is just a good day in the trade. At work, it's just, we take our work serious, but at the same time, we try to have fun. We mess around at the same time. But when it's time to be serious, we're being serious. And I don't know, I guess I can't really think of any funniest memory or the funniest time. It's just every day is a good day at work. And with what we do, we have to rely on each other to make sure we stay safe because we're usually working on a crew, or sometimes we work by ourselves, but we also rely on our coworkers. They might catch some or see something that I didn't see that could potentially hurt myself or kill me or hurt somebody else. So we eventually ended up building that family relationship and trusting one another. So every day is just a great day at work. It's just like a second family. So yeah.
Like pranks on each other.
Yeah, we do that. Yeah, tell jokes all day.
Yeah, I've seen some TikToks, where people like prank each other out in the field.
Yeah, it's just like that at work.
All right, next question. Do you ever feel like school? Did you ever like school, or did you feel like you had to go? I know you talked a little bit about this too, Miguel, but
I think there's periods of time where I didn't enjoy school.
Mhm.
I had outside factors that kind of had a factor in it,
yeah, that your first year was.
No, yeah, my first year at college was dreadful. The first semester, and I was, close to dropping out, but I persevered,
Had conversations about it.
many conversations about it, but I showed perseverance and made it through. But, you're going to have some periods of times where you feel like school's not for you. And that's kind of what I had. But at the end of the day, I just knew, like, it's going to benefit me in the long run. So although I didn't really want to go to school no more, I thought of my future, and just that's where my motivation came from, to just keep on persevering through the adversity and all of that.
Yeah, I really feel like school was never for me.
Yeah.
I always had a hard time focusing and just, I don't know, school was never for me, and when I had the opportunity with the full-ride scholarship through the Boys and Girls Club and Avenue Scholars and just having all these different resources helping me make sure I'm on top of my game, I feel like I had a huge responsibility of going to school to pave that way for my family, my younger siblings, and setting a better example. So it was a huge responsibility for me that made sure I had to go to school and complete it, because I didn't want to turn down an opportunity that could change our family forever, So, yeah, I felt like I had a huge responsibility of going to school. Even though I really didn't want to, I still went, and it paid off in the long run,
Yeah.
I'm very grateful I did go to school and that I had the help with the Boys and Girls Club and all the different staff and other people I met in life that kept me pushing and encouraging to go to school and finish. Because even through school, to be honest with you, I had doubts that I would even finish through college. Like they would say, it gets tough. I literally had no life for 9 months because I was just focused on studying, because that's something I never did in high school. I never studied. So now this is something new for me in college. Like I was 19 years old, like, dang, I had 19 years, or not even 19 years, just kindergarten. I had kindergarten, senior year to learn how to study. I never studied in my life. I just always winging it. And I got to study, focus, do these gen eds and line class, Most of it was hands-on, but one of our classes, transformer theory, you had to learn how to hook up transformers and understand electrical the fundamentals of electricity. So I had to study that stuff, and it was just overwhelming at times. And I have my doubts, but like I said, I have people pushing me and I have people in my corner to make sure I get through school, and it all paid off in the long run.
And the name of our podcast is Trust the Process.
Yeah.
Right? So it sounds like you guys had a little bit of that going.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You had to find your motivation. People were
Right.
pushing you to like, no, there's a reason for this
Exactly.
9-month madness.
Yeah.
So the next question, we talked a little bit about some of your guys' struggles and some of the motivators. So is there a specific moment where you did have to go through trusting the process of what's going on? You know, we talked about your first semester being a little difficult, and then your 9-month just back-to-back
Yeah.
classes. Was there a certain time where you're just like, I need to keep going, this is where I'm going?
Yeah. In 2021, it was a really rough year. In March, it was our soccer season in high school, and I had a close friend who was like a sister to me.
Mhm.
She passed away, and it was really like, it was unexpected. And, you know, we were midway through the season, and I found out late at night, and it was just really, really rough. Like, the next day at school was really tough. The next few weeks, months, even some days now, you know, but it was really, really rough. And we had a huge rivalry game the next day against Creighton Prep, and Omaha South versus Creighton Prep is always a really, really huge rivalry game. And, you know, like that game, I didn't even want to play at all. Sat in the counselor's office all day. It's just, didn't want to play. You know, I just wanted to take time to myself, just sit back, reflect, and that's it. I didn't pretty much didn't want to do anything. Didn't want to go to class, nothing. Just talk. Pretty much my counselor there. But my counselor, he convinced me to play. And it was crazy because he like kind of like he foreshadowed the future. He's like, man, you might have the best game of your life. You know, you might be on the newspaper. You know, like these are like storylines. You know, and it's crazy because that game I scored a game-winning penalty, and right on the newspaper I was the next day. I was like, no way, like. And
Called it.
literally,
everything.
yeah. But even that, we ended up, the whole season was rough, but it was our motivation. And like to this day, it's like a motivation, you know, to make her proud and make my family proud. But I think she's played a really good role in motivation. And then, you know, going into college, it was kind of rough still, you know, still not over the situation. Then I lose a somewhat distant friend in August, like beginning of the semester, same thing, unexpected. And it was rough, and to say the least. But you kind of like, I went through the, you know, the stages of grief, you know, I accepted it and all that. But then I kind of told myself I can't just sit here and just keep feeling these way, you know, like at a point I gotta move on. And that's pretty much what I did. Instead of, I guess, grieving over it, just using it as motivation, you know, like finding reasons why I do like what I do in my everyday life, you know, and kind of turn the, I guess, rough experiences into motivation, and it's helped a lot.
Yeah. Yep. And that is a form of grieving, right?
Yeah.
You're turning it, keep you going, making
For sure.
it that your motivation. And
Yeah.
that's how you keep her in mind. Keep them in
Exactly.
mind.
Yeah.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
What was your moment where you're like, I need to trust the process. I need to keep going. If you had one.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was any particular moment. I would just say it was being that older sibling, and like I said before, the life we had growing up, just my childhood and past experience. I always wanted something better, and I had a lot of doubts in college that I wouldn't be able to finish because of how I did academically in high school. Yeah. You know, and I feel like the reason why I did so poor in high school was because it was all the stuff we learned in high school. I wasn't really interested in. You know, forced to read books that I wasn't interested in, and just the math. And I was one of those kids. You know, how are we going to use this in life? So I didn't really put forth my best effort. But with line school, it was something I was interested in. So I did give a little bit more effort, a lot more effort actually than I did in high school. And I always kept my family in the back of my mind to make sure we're good when we get older and, take care of each other, and just knowing that I'm older now and I have the opportunity to live a better life than when I was a kid. Because when I was a kid, I really didn't have many options, It was just whatever life threw at my parents for us, and that's how we lived. They did the best they could, and very grateful for both my parents. And just trying to keep a positive mindset and, like you say, just trusting the process and keeping the end goal in the back of my mind. Yeah.
And you're there now.
Yeah, I'm there now. I am. Yeah, I am there.
What up, everybody? In scholarship land, Jermaine Jones back again, Chief Career Navigation Officer, Boys and Girls Club of the Midlands Scholarship Program, here with our two guests, Mr. Miguel and Mr. David. So from time to time, I'm going to come on and do a little bit of blurbs, if you will, and talk about different things that maybe irk my nerve. Today, we're going to talk about laziness. So over the weekend, I watched a video. I'm a big Black Mamba fan. If you don't know who the Black Mamba is, who is that?
It's Kobe.
There you go. There you go. Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. So I watched his a video that he posted a few years ago about every single day getting better. So Miguel, David talked about a few obstacles that they had in their life, coming out of high school and having that point in high school where you really didn't know what the next day was going to look like. First semester of college was a little bit rough, and you even thought, is this somewhere I want to be?
Exactly.
And so what Kobe talked about, it's not about where you're going to be in a year from now, where you're going to be 5 years from now. It's where you're going to be tomorrow. And can I wake up and be better tomorrow than I was the previous day? And then in 2 days from now, wake up and be better that day. And then over a period of time, years, months, weeks, you continue to get better. And so when I think about your guys' path up to this point, where you guys stand today, someone who is above a 3.0 GPA, Miguel, you're in your career path now. And really from your perspective, Miguel, coming out of high school, it was a struggle. And, you said you contemplated dropping out. And then you persuade Metro to allow you to do a 9-month accelerated program.
Right.
I was pretty good in high school. I don't know if I would have took classes all day, every day for 9 months.
Yeah.
But for 9 months, every single day, you got a little bit better.
Yeah.
And because you did over a 9-month period, you then got an associate's degree in alignment.
Sure.
Someone who over 4 years in high school, it was a struggle.
Right.
And in 9 months, you convinced a community college program, I can do this. I can get this done.
Yeah.
David, you started at UNO.
Yeah.
Good student throughout high school.
Yeah.
Your first semester of college, you like, this is different.
Yeah, for sure.
And struggle. And then you reevaluated. And you said to yourself, okay, second semester, every single day, I'm going to get a little bit better.
Exactly.
So everybody out there that listens to these guys' stories, every single day, get a little bit better. Don't be lazy. Don't wake up and make excuses. Don't blame it on the teachers. Don't blame it on your friends. Forget all the other factors. Forget about the background. Forget about societal issues. Don't be listening to stuff on social media. All the negativity and propaganda that's out there. But focus on self. And every single day, get a little bit better. Now I'm gonna turn it over to y'all because y'all the experts on this. Because y'all been doing it. Y'all showed it.
Yeah.
So what y'all think about that?
I think I listen to a lot of Kobe, interviews a lot. I think his mentality is different. It's what made him. His mentality is just like a lot of work ethic, and I think I can relate similar. Obviously his level is just different. He's different, but I kind of look at him as inspiration as well. Getting 1% better every day. In the long run, you're gonna how do I say this? Like, if you look at the future, it's gonna be a little hard. You gotta fall in love with the process to get the results.
There you go.
You can't just look at the results and that's not gonna come that way. You gotta fall in love with the process, and I think that's what I use a lot, and I kind of remind myself often. Yeah.
Yeah, Jermaine. So, kind of like David, I think the biggest issue with a lot of us is that we want results overnight, and life just doesn't happen like that. So, with that, kind of how you said Kobe on, not being lazy, getting better every day. You're gonna have to trust the process. You can't give the same effort every day and expect results. Whether it's in with life, the gym, sports, becoming a better person, school, whatever it is, like there's gonna be times where you have to give more effort than you have in previous days, so you gotta be willing to maybe sometimes step out of your comfort zone. Kind of how you say, don't worry about what social media has to say, because I think that's a huge factor too, why people want stuff to happen overnight and they stop midway because it's not happening for them, in a couple of days or a couple of weeks. For me, it took me 9 months and I'm very grateful. But sometimes you just gotta focus on you and your life, not what others think of you or trying to impress others to make yourself feel better, Just give your best effort every day, then, get better and better and have that Mammel mentality, trust the process.
So I'm gonna leave everybody with this. So I remember when Miguel finished his program, he obviously was hoping to get on OPPD full time.
Yeah.
Didn't happen right away.
Yeah, it didn't. It took quite a while.
Took a while. What was the length of time? Was it a year and a half, 2 years? About 2 years when you finally got on?
Yeah, I'll say about a year and a half.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
So you went out, what was it, Western Nebraska at first and worked, right?
Yeah, I went to Gothenburg to help build a substation.
Yep. Then came back and worked in the area.
Yeah, Superior Lighting.
And I remember it was a Friday morning. I was headed out of town on a trip. And we call it Chucho, y'all. We call it Chucho.
The one and only.
Miguel called me and he said, you got a minute? Well, of course, what's up? He said, man, year and a half, did all this work, finally got on.
Right.
And you made it happen.
Yeah.
And like you just said, like everything is not gonna happen overnight.
Yeah.
But you took a different route, went to a couple other companies, put in the work, proved yourself, continued to prove yourself.
Yeah.
You beat the odds at Metro, proved to them that you can get through a 9-month program.
Yeah.
And then over a year and a half, 2 year period, you did have to continue to prove to OPPD that I am worth that. I am worth that compensation. I'm worth that time, worth that opportunity. And came back and you made it. Yeah, so I know you were solid in school, but I think you alluded to it that Big Brother has been a great example for you.
No, for sure, yeah.
And I kind of want to add on to the, not only throughout the years I had to prove myself, but also the day of, it wasn't for OPPD, it wasn't just a hiring process, interviewing, they picked the best interviewee, I guess. The day of, we had to do a boot camp, which is, a lot of people want to work at OPPD, it's a great company to work for. So they can't hire like 50 people at once. So the way they do the process of electing the best candidate for the position is they do a boot camp, which is basically like trials for sports, A lot of people want to play for a team, but they can't pick every person to play for the team. So they do tryouts and they pick the best person for the team. And that's how I was at OPPD. I went to a streetlight boot camp. Well, I went to a lineman boot camp, and I went to a cable splasher boot camp. I went to a meter reader boot camp, and I applied for I think 4 or 5 other different jobs, and I got denied all those times. And those boot camps aren't easy. We're out there working really hard and trying to prove ourselves that we're the best candidate. And, I had doubts a few times when I kept getting denied over and over and over again. Excuse me. And then that streetlight boot camp, I did my best, gave it my all, and I got picked as one of the best candidates for the position. And, I got hired on then.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so.
Just think about this dude, man.
The thing is, back in my head, I'm just thinking, now, academically, I didn't really have much problems in high school, but, I'm kind of making the comparison now, He didn't excel academically, but kind of similar with me, but the physical aspect.
Mm-hmm.
like freshman year, I was like 5'8", like 240, almost pushing 250, and a soccer player. You know, like dude, like I was not. If you told me like my freshman year in 4 years I'd have 4 state championships playing for a pro indoor team, like I think you're crazy, you know. I kind of like had the motivation, that spark. Like after my freshman year, just I ended up losing I think 80 pounds in the span of like 5-6 months. But that just like I'd constantly be running like 3 times a day, watch what I ate, all that. And similar thing, you know, Miguel, like he went to these boot camps, I went to these tryouts. I got cut from the state like selection team. It's called ODP, and I never made the squad, but like I had teammates on the team that would always make it every year, and like kind of use as motivation. You know, I wanted to be on the team so bad, but I never got a chance. But now here I am. You know, probably. You know, I played indoor soccer at a really high level. Now I'm getting like full rides to play at really good schools and stuff. You know, so I think his is more of like an academic, but mine's like a physical thing, and I think it's interesting to me now. It's crazy,
yeah. So laziness, it's not in their DNA. Every day, they continue to get better.
Exactly.
Remember this, even Michael Jordan got cut once.
Yeah.
So that's the first pet peeve of J. Joe's. Don't be lazy. Every single day, 1% get better. Do that every single day. Do it over a long period of time. And you'll have great positive results like you see here in front of you today. Mr. Miguel Rojas, Mr. David Rojas, thank you guys for coming on the show.
A pleasure.
Yes, indeed. Another product of Boys and Girls Club, the Midlands Scholarship Program. And we'll see you next time.